Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I am finally back with Rush and the final track on the album A Farewell to Kings. And the album is right there behind me. um, it's a long song, Cygnus X-1, so it's going to take a little while to get through. So sit back, relax, let it flow through you. It's a very interesting song, very interesting lyrics too, written by Neil Peart. And we'll have a look at the lyrics after we have a listen to the song. Before we get into the music, why not just click that subscribe button if you haven't already? Thank you to all those who have. The subscriptions are moving up nicely. Channel is growing, and lots of great comments and information about various bands and singers and requests and suggestions too. Don't forget that super thanks are available. You can find that and support the channel even more if you want to. In the meantime, let's get going with Rush and Cygnus X-1. Okay, are you ready to go traveling? Let's go. Nice build up.
In the constellations of Cygnus, there lurks a mysterious
Hear
invisible force.
the bells, are those tubular
Of
bells?
Cygnus X1. 6 stars of the Northern Cross, in mourning for their sister's loss, in a final flash of glory, nevermore to grace the night.
Because I already am aware of this song. Of course, I have the album, and I loved Rush and used to listen to them a lot a long, long time ago. I haven't heard them for a while, except starting this reaction channel and doing some of their songs here. But anyway, when we look at the lyrics later, you'll see that it's traveling and traveling through space. So that sounded like a rocket taking off there. Really impressive with their instruments.
Nevermore to grace the night.
Take off. Drums kicking in. a very long build up and a sense of anticipation. Earlier on, we could sort of hear voices sounded like they were coming through, long distances or whatever, and then the sound of that rocket. And then we still have this very long, steady build up. Amazing instrumentation, though.
Invisible to telescopic eye, infinity, the star that would not die. All who dare to cross her path are swallowed by a fearsome force. Through the void to be destroyed, or is there something more? Aftermind, afterglow, or through the astral door to go.
Nice echo there, and of course Geddy Lee's voice coming in very powerful, and his very what, the word's not coming to me, but he's got that very special voice. He can't be imitated, I don't think.
I set a course just east of Lyra, northwest of Pegasus, flew into the light of day, sailed across the Milky Way. On my ship, the Rocinante, wheeling through the galaxies, headed for the heart of Cygnus, headlong into mystery. X-ray is a siren song, my ship cannot resist how long. Nearer to my deadly goal until the black hole guides
Using their instruments again to create a mood, create an anticipation or a suspense. It's like a three-act play, actually. You'll see that in the lyrics, and they use their instruments very, very well, and of course Geddy's voice too. Where you have explosions, and then you have very quiet periods, and then you have build-up, anticipation, suspense, all of these things happening at once. And a sense of space. back that up a little bit. You can hear the sense of panicking in Geddy's voice and in the instruments as well coming into that section. So back up a little bit.
Spinning, rolling, spinning, standing like a spiral ceiling. Sounds of fury down my heart, every nerve is
Nice. Just fading guitar strumming at the end. Very, very well done. Of course, it's Rush. What can you expect? They're fantastic on the instruments, the guitars, the synthesizer, which I always have trouble saying. I sound like I'm lisping. Of course, the drumming by Neil. Yeah, Geddy, Leaf, all of them are incredible musicians, and the lyrics are great. Everything is really astounding if you want to absorb and get into this music and listen to the whole album too. It's really good to listen to the whole album sort of at once. But we took each track by track to go through the reactions. I think that makes it a little bit better. I guess we could do a really long one day, but all right. I always loved this song and all the songs really on A Farewell to Kings. I hope you do too. Whether you've heard them a million times or whether this is your first time, I hope you enjoyed that. But we're going to have a look at the lyrics now, so let's jump over there. Cygnus, X-1 by Rush, lyrics Neil Peart. Prologue. In the constellation of Cygnus there lurks a mysterious invisible force, the black hole of Cygnus X-1. 6 stars of the Northern Cross in mourning for their sister's loss, in a final flash of glory nevermore to grace the night. So an imploding star turning into a black hole, that's why they're mourning their sister, the other star, I guess, from the Northern Cross. And they mention a lot of different constellations here. I'm not an astronomer, and God forbid, not an astrologer. So I don't know a lot about the constellations, but you'll recognize some of the names probably. Uh, so the black hole, invisible to telescopic eyes. So we're sort of in scene one here, or act one, I should say. Infinity, the star that would not die. So it's a black hole now, so in a sense it's still in existence and goes on to infinity, according to these lyrics. All who dare to cross her course are swallowed by a fearsome force. So the impressive, crushing gravity pulling everything in, I guess. Through the void to be destroyed, or is there something more, atomized at the core, or through the astral door to soar? So in other words, will you be destroyed if you try to go through or cross this black hole? Will you be atomized, in other words, torn apart, turned into atoms again? So maybe your atoms still exist, but you're not you, nor is your ship or anything else. Or is this a special door? Some science fiction and whatnot, used to think there were wormholes or ways through a black hole that would take you to either another universe, another world, or another plane, or there are many different versions, but I think this is what he's writing about here and singing. I set a course just east of Lyra and northwest of Pegasus, flew into the light of Deneb, sailed across the Milky Way on my ship, the Rocinante. Of course, Rocinante is the was the horse in Don Quixote, and skinny, sort of wobbly horse. And Don Quixote, of course, was in, sort of had lost his mind and was, often aiming for impossible dreams. Is this an impossible dream? Is this an impossible way to go, looking for something through or beyond the black hole? I think that's the reference there. And, we know the Milky Way, wheeling through the galaxies, I think it should say there, headed for the heart of Cygnus, headlong into mystery. The X-ray is her siren song. My ship cannot resist her long, nearer to my deadly goal until the black hole gains control. So as you get closer and closer, it's going to grab you, and then whatever happens will happen, and you'll be completely out of control. Could be your deadly goal until the black hole gains control. And then here's where Getty really, in X-rays, I think that's what they detect from these black holes. This is where Geddy Lee, and the instrumentation as well, from the drumming and the guitars and everything, was sort of going crazy or out of whack, spinning, whirling, still descending. So it goes along with the lyrics, like a spiral sea, sort of going down the drain. Unending sound and fury, from Shakespeare. Drowns my heart, every nerve is torn apart. And it doesn't say it here, but on the actual album it says to be continued. So, the idea is, do you get through the black hole, or do you find another passage, or are you destroyed? Are you literally torn apart? Or is that colloquial, and then you come out the other side somehow? Very interesting lyrics, a lot of fun. I know that Neil was very much into science fiction. Well, a lot of literature, but science fiction was, I think, one of his favorites. It shows here. And I think a lot of people, I used to read a lot of science fiction when I was younger, and I read a novel. Oh, I should have looked that up before I made this video. I can't remember the name of the author nor the novel, but I think it's a series, and I read one or two of them. I actually read the first one for one of my students, a student from Russia, actually. And he was reading this novel in English, and I was teaching him English as well. And so I read it so that I could help him along with it and use the novel as part of our lessons. I wasn't teaching the novel per se, but I used the novel so that we could do some things together, and he could both enjoy the novel but also get even more out of it by having discussions in English, and also writing about it in English as well. And I think that's a great thing to do. I got more out of it preparing for him than I would have if I had just read it on my own. It was very enjoyable. I'm sorry I don't remember the name of it, but off the top of my head, it was probably about 3 years ago. But I got more out of it too. So it's a good way to read. Anyway, that's enough of me babbling on. I hope you enjoyed the song. There's even more you could extract from here if you went into all of the constellations and things, but I'm not going to look all that up. And as I say, I'm not an astronomer, so I can't go too deeply into it all. But I think it's very interesting, the lyrics, but fun to listen to them with the music that really gives you a whole picture. You notice me closing my eyes a lot. I do that with other music too, particularly anything instrumental or classical, because you can really absorb the music a lot differently with your eyes closed and just listening through your ears. And also, I have a lot of images in my head when I close my eyes and listen like that. I'm not going to tell you what they all are right now, maybe one day. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a lot of fun with it. You can really literally close your eyes, listen to this, let it sweep over you, the whole album really, and create your own stories that either go with the lyrics or don't. Doesn't matter, does it? And but the music, it invites you to create, and it invites you to be creative as well. And that's I love that. I love that about this kind of music. All right, that's it for this album, but it doesn't mean we're done with Rush. Let me know what else you might want to hear from Rush. I know they're not the most popular on the channel. They don't get the most views. I know John likes them. I'm pretty sure John will be saying something about this video. I hope he liked it because he has mentioned he liked some of the other ones. So hope he likes this one too. So a little call out to you. Thank you to everyone who has made suggestions, recommendations, given me some information, all of those fun things. Just even let me know how they're doing. You can keep doing that. You can also use super thanks if you want to support the channel a little bit more. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Click the notification bell and don't forget to subscribe, of course. All of that. In the meantime, keep listening, keep having fun. It's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Bye bye for now.